Okay, so we're looking at your lesson, and I see that your objective was for students to use text-based vocabulary to logically connect to a situation. Could you please explain a little bit on how you differentiated this lesson?
Okay, well, first of all, my thought for the objective was for children to learn the vocabulary in context. And then my next thought was for all the different students I have in my classroom. About half the class are English language learners, so I wanted to meet the needs of emerging and bridging students. So I tried to think of a way that everybody could participate. I also have RSP students, resource students in here, lots of strugglers. I only have 2 students that are at grade level. I don't have anyone that is above grade level. So I wanted to meet everybody's needs. So I'm thinking, how can I do that? So many kids are not at the level where they're good writers yet. So I gave them options. I used a closed sentence, a sentence frame where they could fill in the blank with vocabulary. I used an option for drawing a storyboard to show that they knew what the vocabulary meant, and I also used an option for writing.
Okay, I know that you have a newcomer in your class. What have you done to support his needs?
Okay, so my newcomer sits between 2 students that speak Spanish and English, and they help him along during the day. And I also use computer software that's in Spanish and English.
Nice. Okay, so beginning with this lesson, what did you see as success for this lesson?
Okay, a success for this lesson was just the fact that everything was differentiated so that the students could really make an effort. And when I finished with the lesson and let them go and they had to choose between the 3 things, you could see all over the room, everybody was at a different place. Some people were writing, some people were filling the blanks, some people were drawing. So I really felt that it was a differentiated lesson.
Okay, so there were nice scaffolds put in place for all the different learning modalities, whereas they all had the same learning target.
Yes.
Very nice. Did you see anywhere in the lesson that you may have tweaked it or students were struggling?
Okay, so in the beginning I did notice that I needed to actually write the vocabulary definition to clarify. I've been trying to use the reciprocal teaching method of having the children predict, which they did. They tried to predict from the title of the film whether it was fiction or nonfiction. It was called Film Facts, so it was pretty easy to figure out that it was nonfiction, but not for everybody. And so we did a couple predicting things, and then the clarification part, I actually, after they tried to predict what the vocabulary meant, then I clarified it by giving them a very short sentence.
Have you been able to input into these strategies any of the GLAD strategies that we've learned from language learners?
So the GLAD strategies are SADI. They're to make things very visual for the kids, and I feel like the storyboard portion is very visual. And I'm going to continue on with this lesson, and I'm going to revisit some of the vocabulary, and I'm going to move forward with the storyboard and have the kids work collaboratively and making a storyboard of their own. And I think this storyboard situation that will be done collaboratively and presented and posted that we can come back to, that will be a GLAD strategy.
Very nice. And I like how I'm seeing all the incorporation of our reading standards, speaking standards, as well as the listening standards. This is one lesson, part of other lessons you're going to be doing this week. How are you going to continue and wrap it up?
Okay, so, well, like I said, the culmination is going to finally be the collaborative groups making storyboards and presenting them.
Okay.
And so that should show that they have learned the material and they're able to speak about the material. And we should go back in the end too and write another little summary or something and work on our writing skills and perfecting our writing.
Very nice.
After we've got the information secure here in our minds.
Okay, so what would you say the benefit of this process has been for you in your instruction?
Just taking time to rethink a strategy and really apply it and slow it down and really go through the steps methodically and giving the kids time to really embrace the material, internalize the material, and be able to use the material. That's the goal, is for the kids to be able to use the information, not just throwing the information at them.
Okay. I know reciprocal teaching early on in 2000, around 2006, was a strong push in education. It sort of has taken a back seat and it's starting to come back now. I see this as a new strategy you've taught. Is it something you think you're going to continue with?
I really like the fact that we're trying to train the children to be thinkers, to be the teacher, to internalize what they're reading, to be able to ask themselves questions, to try and be able to clarify themselves. Like, instead of me telling them what the definition of the word is, to clarify, oh, let me grab my textbook and look in the glossary and find out the definition after I've thought in myself what it might be, what the word might mean. So we're trying to teach the kids to do these things on their own and to be critical thinkers.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got to try a new strategy and that you see some benefit of it, and it's something you're going to continue with. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for